Is Cardano about to form an alliance with XRP and Bitcoin? Some pretty big statements were made by Charles after he came back from his 7-day long mental health retreat and perhaps a change of heart. In this video, we're going to cover all of that, all of the Cardano news, what I think it means for the entire ecosystem, and stay tuned until the end because we're going to go over the charts and TA, and I'm going to give you my price predictions. My name's Devin. I've been in cryptocurrency since 2014. Make sure you guys drop that follow. These are my 5 major key takeaways, and let's start off with number 1 in this bombshell that was dropped.
Second, a large part of my time in 2025 will also be devoted to the political process. I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time working with lawmakers in Washington, D.C., and quite a bit of time working with members of the administration to help foster and facilitate with other key leaders in industry the crypto policy.
So this is a pretty big deal in my opinion, as most of cryptocurrency has been super suppressed by the SEC and lawmakers, and with this huge red wave. And I would not only say red wave, but even on the left side, the congressmen and the senators, a lot of them that were elected are very, very pro crypto. And I expect some big changes to be laid, but just getting them elected is only the first part of the battle. The biggest part is actually getting the laws to pass. And I think that he understands this and is going to devote all of 2025 to getting this done. Now, on this retreat, he did a lot of introspection. And my second biggest takeaway is this.
Bots participated, but I'm also not deluded enough to believe that my tenure has been without controversy and has not been perfect in many different respects. At times, I've been very abrasive, and at times, I've said and done things that I regret.
And so, now, the third takeaway was he apologized to the Bitcoin community, the Bitcoin Maxi community, and hopes to work with them and bridge and truly be the DeFi of Bitcoin, which, by the way, would be huge.
Bitcoin is the dominant cryptocurrency, and it's earned that right through a strong community and a relentless pursuit of its principles. Bitcoin remains and is the most principled ecosystem in the cryptocurrency space. And the reality is, we're all still drinking from the rivers that Bitcoin carved. And
now he seems to have a deep regret for some of his statements that he made in the past. And he said that he's frustrated, but he is looking forward to collaborating with the Bitcoin ecosystem, especially with the upcoming update of Midnight, which essentially would make Cardano be the layer 2 of Bitcoin, which would be pretty insane for the dApps and the DeFi and all of this. Key takeaway number 4 was apologizing to the XRP community and hoping to, or alluding to, wanting to work with the XRP and their technology, which I think would be a big deal.
Second, I reflected a lot about the XRP community. And this is another one of those examples where one statement kind of turned into 2 and 3 and 4, and it got to a stalemate where nobody really wins. The reality is there are many people in the XRP community who are great fans and friends of the Cardano ecosystem, and there's a bit of a sadness over the fact that we've just not been able to bridge these gaps. Let me be clear about something. It was never my intent to say that XRP as an ecosystem should not exist, and XRP as an ecosystem should have endured the horrors that it has over the past few years from an overzealous regulator who has victimized the people who hold XRP. Not a single person in that ecosystem deserves the lawsuits that have come and the scrutiny that that project has been under, especially considering the standard of behavior across the industry as a whole throughout the years. And I'm very glad to see that the Senate has been retaken by the Republicans and that good crypto policy probably will come in 2025. We'll get to that in a moment.
Now, if you're new to cryptocurrency and you don't know who Charles Hoskinson is and you don't know what Cardano is, Charles Hoskinson created Cardano, which is currently, as of the time of recording, the 9th largest market cap with over $18.8 billion invested as of the time of recording. To put that in perspective, if Cardano was a stock instead of a cryptocurrency, it would be nearing being on the S&P 500. The main uses of ADA are staking, transactions, governance, and smart contracts as of the time of recording. Now, Bitcoin, you're not able to do any of these things, and in the future, they are hoping to be the layer 2, just like an Inception. Once you go one layer deeper into the dream world, you can accomplish more things. Cardano hopes to do that for Bitcoin. This would bring in trillions of dollars of liquidity. Now, his final takeaway, and then we're going to get into the charts and the TA, was he apologized to his own community. Now, I think that the biggest part of this is that he's going to set up a team in order to get the laws actually passed in order to do what he wants to do. But let's talk about, in my opinion, the most important thing, which is the charts and the TA, and I'm going to give you guys my price prediction for Cardano. Cardano right now has, in my opinion, the very best setup. And that setup is what is called Wyckoff accumulation. This firmly measures what a bottom is. You have your markdown phase. That is your bear market. So your markdown phase, that is the same. Then you have your selling climax and your automatic rally, followed by the secondary test. Your selling climax, your automatic rally, followed by your secondary test. Then you have your spring followed by the sign of strength. This marks firmly that the bottom is done. Then you get a back test of the prior range. You chop there for a little bit, followed by phase E. And phase E is what we call the bull market, the mark up phase. Okay, so after accumulation is over, you start phase E, which is what we call the bull market. In my opinion, that's exactly what Cardano is doing right now. Sign of strength, back test at the prior range. And if anything, it might actually be starting the phase E. Here are some examples of some coins that have already done this. So on the top, we have Cardano, and on the bottom, we have Render. Your markdown phase, your accumulation, your move to the upside, your move to the upside, your back test, sign of strength, back test, followed by your mark up phase, and that is what we call the bull run. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. IMX did the exact same thing, or INJ, excuse me. Mark down, accumulation, move to the upside, back test, move to the upside, back test, sign of strength, chopping, followed by your mark up, which is what is called the bull run. In my opinion, Cardano is about to do this. Now, that doesn't mean tomorrow or next week, but this is like in the next couple of quarters. I think that this phase is going to start. It could be as early as January or February. I'm not calling for the time on that. I'm just presenting the structure. So what is my price target for Cardano? Well, at a minimum, I think it's going to get to $1.53. This is about a 2x from current price. On the higher end of things, I think it can easily get between $4.50. This is about an 8x, aka 800 years of stock market gains. I think Cardano will do that in the next year. And then on the higher end of things, we're looking at about $9.80. This would be about a 18x. Realistically, my target is $6 or $8 for Cardano. So what should you do? You should dollar cost average. That means you buy a little bit each and every week, regardless of price. And follow me for more, you savages.
Damn hustling.